Okay, so this is part 3 of the DJ website tips from my good self, Alan at ScottishDJ.com. And I wanted to just kind of go over one or two just the other things. This is an incredibly complex subject, I guess, which is why it ended up being 3 videos. But there's an awful lot more. If you've got any tips, if you've got anything from your own experience, stick it down there. And also, if you would like me to take a look at your website, and by no stretch of the imagination, I would say, you know, the authority on DJ websites, but I'd be more than happy to take a look at them for you and maybe, you know, make a suggestion, 1 or 2 things that you might want to change, 1 or 2 spelling mistakes, which obviously people have and don't necessarily see. Those are certainly things which I could take an eye and look over it objectively. So a couple of other things I want to mention, one of which is don't have a gateway page, basically a page which says nothing other than welcome to my site, click here to enter. It's pointless, absolutely pointless to have a gateway page. For starters, in most cases search engines have a hard time getting past them, and secondly, what's the point? You know, you might as well have some sort of home page which says, hey, here is the information about me. Here's a little bit of a synopsis of who I am and what I do, or what my business is. But to have a gateway page which just says click to enter, absolutely pointless. So I would suggest don't have one. You know, in most cases, anytime you see them, they're just full of flash for no reason other than to show off, hey, look what I can do. I don't know, it just seems to me a complete waste of time. So on the subject of having a busy background, I kind of touched on busy backgrounds a little earlier. If you use frames, they can look very, very busy, you know, where it's effectively the same information on each page in frames. There's so much going on, it's sometimes very hard for people to actually see any relevant information that they want to be able to take away with them. So I'd avoid using frames. Having a banner which stays the same every page is one thing. Having frames all over the place is another. Try and make sure you have your phone number at least on more than just 1 page, so that if someone is interested, you know, they've got your phone number fairly close. It's not the first time I've seen a website without a phone number on it at all. You don't necessarily have to have your address on there, but I would always have your phone number on there. It's sometimes the easiest way is, rather than anybody filling in the form, they just pick up the phone and call you, and that's the whole point of having a website. The next question is another one which people go back and forward over. Do you have your price on your website? Should you have your price on your website? Again, this is entirely personal opinion. I don't have my pricing on my website for the simple reason that I don't have one particular price, and I don't have, you know, a package of prices for package A, package B, package C. I don't do it that way. I basically price by the event. It's a personal decision. I'm of the opinion that if you put pricing on your website, all you're doing is encouraging tire kickers who are going to be price shoppers and are never actually going to give you a chance to sell your services and to, you know, sell the sizzle rather than just the steak. They get very number oriented and say, well, you know, 650 is less than 700, or 700 is less than 800. Yes, price is important. I'm not saying price isn't important, but it's not the only thing. And sometimes people shop based purely on price. For that reason, I don't put it on my website. I would rather somebody call me, ask what we want to discuss, ask what, you know, what they're looking for, ask a little bit about their event, and then I can give them the price. And if then, you know, it's not what they're looking for, then at least we've had a chance to chat about it. With regard to photographs, if you have photographs on a wedding page, make sure they're photographs of a wedding. Don't have kids' parties photographs on there. Don't have bar mitzvah photographs on there. If it is a, you know, corporate page, don't have wedding photographs. It seems like a really obvious thing, but you'd be surprised how many people do it, because they think, well, these are the great photographs I've got, they're going on any page. Try and make them at least relevant to the pages that they're on. And probably the last thing I would say on this subject is, if you have 75 fonts, you don't have to use 75 fonts. Likewise, if you have a color palette that has 16,000 colors, you don't have to use 16,000 colors. You see it time and time again, either on flyers or on websites. It's like, well, we have all these great fonts, we might as well use them. It just looks ridiculous. Pick 3 or 4 and stick with them. You know, use italics, use bolds to make them stand out a little bit more, but don't go crazy with the fonts. It just looks ridiculous. Likewise with the colors. Just because you've got 16,000 colors, don't have, you know, oh, this page is going to be all yellow and this page is going to be all red, and this page, it just looks ridiculous. So stick to something simple. You know, what is it they say? Keep it simple, stupid. That with regard to fonts, with regard to color, with regard to the various things you can do. Just because you can have flash, just because you can have video, doesn't mean you have to have them. Generally, things in moderation work way better than throwing everything at it and hoping some of it sticks. So there's a whole bunch of other things which we could go into, which I won't at this stage because I think we're running out of time. But just know that this is 1 or 2 of the things which you can do to make your website better. As I said, my website is not proclaiming it to be the best in the world, but all I know is that I get a lot of good comments about it. It looks good and it's functional. Now all I have to do, and this is the big thing, now all I have to do is get the search engine optimization so that my website can be found from search engines. So I need to do some meta tags, and I need to do some search engine optimization to actually get that to happen. Some DJs have either DJ Intelligence, or there's a couple of other companies where they'll have a date checker on there so that someone can check whether or not their date is available, that you are available for that particular event. That's a good idea. That's something I'm looking into at the moment, which I haven't got yet. But all of these things are designed as a call to action. They make people click things on your website. It gets them deeper into your website, makes them more likely that they're going to contact you. And if they contact you, then it's up to you. Then you have to use your, you know, sales skills, and then you have to use your personality to make them want to book for you. The website is just a way of getting your foot in the door. It's not going to be the thing which magically brings bookings in. And if it does magically bring bookings in, tell me how you magically did it, and I'll magically do it on mine as well. So that's it for me as the furnace fires up. So just a little thing on websites. Hopefully there's been some tips in there that you can use. Until next time, practice and enjoy.